Hi, for today's teardown, guess what? One more Collins avionics box. So we have this time the Collins 618M-5 receiver transmitter, weight of 10 libs, so like 5 kilos. And obviously the main radio communication transmitter of your and receiver of your aircraft, because we have phone and mic jacks on it. Why having phone and mic jacks on a box that is located in the avionics compartment? Probably for test purpose, I guess. So it is again almost 40 centimeters deep box, and as always at the back the regular connector with one coax, but here we have what is quite unexpected, one other connector that is covered, so must be for test purpose, this one. Interesting. So on the front we have the regular handle, we have a built-in heatsink, and apparently 4 little screws that may reveal something or not. So I will undo them immediately, so we have immediately a look at what we have behind this panel. So on the previous unit I took apart the DME, the whole front panel was hinged and was accessed to the power supply. Oh, excuse me, but here we have not much actually. two N power transistors by Motorola in Mexico. That code of 99. Quite more modern than expected actually. I do not know how it will show on camera, but trust me, maybe like this. The dead code is 99. And here on the back of this panel we just have actually the connections to the push button, the little lamp and the two jacks. The microphone have 3 wires, so maybe there is a push to talk feature or something like this, or it is a powered microphone. But the phone has only 2 wires, so it is not stereo. Okay, little covers here to protect the transistors, and a bunch of screws securing the other parts inside. So in fact I do not know if I will need or not to undo the screws. So for now I will just reinstall one screw here. It will be enough. Oh, let's do the things correctly. I will put 2 screws. Okay, so now time to undo the cover, if you are still with me and in the frame. So here just one quick release of the back, and the cover goes. We have this side as a big shielding, probably over main circuit board. The top has air mounted components, and this side has also air mounted components with what seems to be, yes, more stuff in the middle. So I will need to figure out how to proceed to access to the middle. But first let me put the camera over it. So I am back, and we will start with this top side where we have information about your trimmers, what they do apparently, and a bunch of air-mounted components. As you can see, super old school construction. And I can see actually the dead codes on these capacitors are 98, excuse me, 89, but on the dead code on this one here seems to be 98. And it looks like it is a completely different generation of capacitor. So it 89 here also on this resistor, and if you remember, the two power transistors on the front were 99. So I wonder if, and actually yes, you can see on the manufacturer label, we have a number of modifications checked out. So this thing was repaired and modified and overhauled quite a few times, it seems. Interesting. So the main frame must be 89, and it was repaired around 98, 99, 2000 maybe, something like this. Quite interesting. Okay, so it is all what we have at this top section. We will continue here. We have more air mount parts, a bunch of them, with covers to undo. So big shielded relay here, probably to switch between to switch in the transmitter, something like this, which is located here. The bunch of screws we did see in the front are actually coming here to secure this side of the frame to the front panel, which is quite thick. And we have a few screws to undo, so I will be right back. Okay, because we have here the transmitter power supply frame or chassis with preamplifier here, just one transistor it seems, with a few silver nickel capacitors, and you can see even this part has his part number written in it, and nice touch to detail really. These screws are at the same time kept captive and located correctly by these spring parts, which are riveted to the box. So you will not lose the screws, and they will be forced to go in the corner and locate correctly in the holes. So really interesting. We have here the 5.2 volts regulator with, of course, the adjustment for it, which seems to be a linear regulator. Apparently we have one inductor, one power transistor, probably an op amp here with its trimmer, but the trimmer is actually connected here between these capacitors. Quite interesting. Metal can diode, and again a mix of new and old capacitors. You can see here also these capacitors seems a lot more modern than the other ones. So one of the modifications was obviously to replace capacitors. Maybe they did use tantalum of a bad kind. Quite weird. And here we have the transmitter section, which actually has 3 gold ceramic Motorola power transistors. So yes, radio transmitter thing. But we have this nice box with 5 little screws that I will try to undo for you. They are actually long screws but not tight and quite quick to undo. It is good. And yes, a box with coils and filter assemblage. Interesting. Okay, but here you can see there is no locating thing on the screws and they are going in whatever direction they want. And this thing will be a pain to reinstall, it seems. Okay, so you get the idea. Yes, nice board here, and you can see this unit is actually a circuit board. I am not sure how it is connected to the chassis. We have 2 screws, but we have probably wires going from the back or something like this. Okay, I will reinstall everything here and we will go to the other side. Okay, now the other side that obviously contains a big circuit board. But first, if you wonder what we have at the bottom side, we have nothing, just holes. Okay, so again, where the aluminum color that is messing up my white balance. I was happy previously with this Panasonic 3CCD camera, but it is giving me issues recently. So I will consider getting another one, but I need a real camcorder, not a smartphone, with a remote. Super important for me, and a real remote, not a smartphone remote, with possibility to have output to a blanking monitor, and it is not so easy to find. So what do we have in here? We have one more screw, as always. No, are you kidding me? Okay. Okay. So this cover and a nice large PCB with quite unexpected surface mount devices. Interesting. Here obviously we have either connector that goes inside, and look what I found here, big red screws and what seems to be a hinge. So apparently by undoing these screws, yes, this panel should flip out of the way and I should be able to see what we have in the middle. It will be nice, but first we will have a look here. So this circuit board seems quite modern, as you can see. And yes, we have an Actel IC here dated 98, so it is part of a retrofit, this thing. They did replace the whole electronics, the brains of the thing with a device with more modern ones. Interesting, really interesting. So I will try to remove the shieldings here for you, because we have a number of shieldings. On this one, 2 coax inputs from the media compartment with 2 filters. Apparently it is written Netcom, center frequency 20 MHz, date code 98 again. Okay, this one was easy. Next one, more coax connections and apparently analog stuff, it seems. Maybe an analog front end with little trimmers. Okay, So this transceiver usually works with a transceiver head located in the cockpit, where we will have control for the transceiver, control of course for your frequency and channel, readout, and also you need to connect your microphone and headphone from the pilot and co-pilot. And here we have Conexant IC 99, perfectly out of focus, by the way. But the most interesting is this thing, a gold cap ceramic IC by AMI, but it is weird. It looks like we have some they did rework this or something like this, and there is actually solder on the lid. This one is not possible to read, but quite interesting. So we have probably a voltage control frequency driver in this radio, because you will dial the frequency to a remote control box. So there is this box that I would really like to inspect, but it looks like it will be fun because of the screws on the side here. So this one is cooperating. Maybe it will not be so difficult, and I really want to know. And they are not metal thread screws here, they are plastic thread. Quite interesting. So I need to do the three ones here. Okay, could be worse actually, but I will have issues for these two ones. Excuse me for a terrible focus situation here. I did tinker with my camera settings, and really there is nothing I can do. It is the best mode. In other modes it will not do focus at all. Okay, and we have 4 more screws, and we should be able to reveal the content of this little box. Focus. Let's play a little bit. Autofocus. Autofocus. Let's remain autofocus for the two other screws, if it is this. Okay. And let's try to recover focus by back zooming. But as it is a little box, I want to zoom in actually. Okay. So what do we have in here? 3 long screws. Hello. Focus. Please. Thanks. And we have this cover that actually I do not know, seems to be more or less glued in place. Yes, there is something weird going on in here. That is okay. Okay, so let's recover focus for you, and okay, super nice. All this work for nothing because it is completely potted. And I see the box is closed at the other side, so even if I undo this box in some way, I will not be able to see anything else. So you cannot win every time. Yes, okay. Let's put it back together. By the way, this thing seems even more modern because we have the QR code here. Interesting. So I will put this back together, and then we will try to access the middle compartment. Okay, so actually we have red screws here, so we will try to undo the red screws. There is one here on the side that I just need to loosen a little bit. And we have these ones which are quite interesting because actually they seem to be spring loaded. Yes, more or less interesting. So let me undo the other ones real quick. We should be able to see what we have in the middle. Yes, interesting concept. So they are captive screws, they will not fall off, but they will more or less pop out when they are undone completely. Interesting. Let's see. So what do we have in here? Ah, okay. Actually more stuff than expected. We have here at the bottom the middle of the chassis with the main connector here, big inductor here, big capacitor, so probably a power input stage. At the bottom here, two little shielded relays. Here what seems to be, is it in the frame, here the back of the transmitter assembly, and yes, probably here even the back parts of the power transistors we did see previously, with this heatsink here, two shielded assemblies that I should love to open, but I do not know how to proceed, because this one, they are not the same part number, so you see this one here and another one here at the back. So this one, is it possible to open it and try to zoom in for you? I will try. Need to find a correct screwdriver. Okay. This one I do not know. Oh, it is secured here. Okay, there is screws on the side, but anyways, I should be able to undo the cover on this one and show you. Oh, one screw did fall at the bottom, of course. So a little bit annoying for the corner screw here, but it should be possible. I always like these little boxes. I need to recover the screws. Okay, screws recovered, and I can try to zoom in this section and remove for you. Of course, it is focusing on the other part. And reveal for you, not much in fact, because we have one other shielded box in this thing. That is this one completely soldered in place and epoxied to the box. So no luck here, it will not reveal much, so I will reinstall this one and we will try to open the second one. I am back, so while I undo the screw securing this box, this transceiver is the version 5 of 618, and if you search on eBay Collins 618, you will find other older models. Some of them have a completely different setup with actually motorized variable capacitor that will tune the frequency. So I want to have a look inside this box, but as you can see it requires a pain because of what actually? Because of I was too lazy to undo the connectors. What it looks like, it will be much easier like this. At least here I can't complain, it will be easy. So here is what it looks like. For some reason my camera is staying in focus now. So I can undo this little cover. I hope it will be more interesting than the other one. Okay. Probably also retrofit part because you can see quite a modern looking surface mount parts in here. Little signal transformer. Quite, yes, modern looking construction. Some unpopulated standoffs here. Interesting and very bright sun. So I will put back this box and we will go to the last part. Okay, little box reinstalled, and before we go to the next and last part here, spoiler, I have one more Collins box in the mail from eBay. It will be apparently a more vintage one, same color, same form factor, but seems to be very cool inside. It was a little bit more expensive, it was 30 British pounds. So far I have, I believe, 6 of those Collins boxes. My goal is to try to get a dozen of them, something like this. Okay, we are left with the last part of the system, the IF amplifier. Actually I do not know, not sure. Well, this part, which is located at the back of a big circuit board. We have apparently here super analog side of things, original equipment here, not a retrofit, except for the capacitors again. For the capacitors, here the header going to the main board. And we have these covers. I will not undo everything because I believe it will be the same thing. But here at least we have this little assembly. These ones it is not necessary to undo them because we just have coils, I see in it. Big inductors, and it is all. You can see here a number of dead bug mounted op amps, apparently. Not sure what we have at the back of this unit, so it will be easy to undo it. It looks like we have not much, it is just wires in fact, interconnecting everything, but no extra module. So it will not be necessary to bother undoing this. By the way, if you are looking for nice components, such assemblies really are good because look, we have a lot of silver microcapacitors here, super nice coax connectors, nice rare Imperial hardware, not easy to find in Europa at least, in a pristine condition. A lot of nice parts everywhere. These trimmers also with mounted on wires. They are always good. Also Teflon coated wires, probably with silver conductors, silver coated copper conductors inside. So if you are searching for parts to tinker with, recover resistors, capacitors and everything, get yourself one of these boxes from eBay when they are cheap, really. Good source of interesting parts. Super nice quality everywhere. So yes, this box. So here we had not much. A bunch of dead bug op amps here, you can see. I will just open one of these two boxes. So for some reason, on some of the screws there is this symbol. I wonder if it is to tell which screws you have to undo to extract the whole module, maybe. I will try. But first I will undo this cover. I expect to find a lot of analog goodness in here. Yes, actually this frame is coming out like so. Interesting. And yes, you can see it is not written what it is, this box, but more analog goodies. Everything air mounted in here, so I like the contrast in this box between the very old school air mounted parts. Looks like 60s almost, even if it was made in 89, and the quite a modern main board with surface mount parts. Quite interesting. So I guess this kind of construction here is super reliable if they did keep it, but also probably super labor intensive. So there must be reasons why you will not put everything here onto a PCB and take the time of mounting everything probably by hand, because you can see each leg of the components has to be trimmed at the correct size, has to be bent to fit in the slot of the standoff here. And a really amazing thing. And then to be soldered. So you have to select your parts, you have to cut the legs, bend the legs, insert them in place, make sure you are connecting it at the right spot, and then solder it. And there is actually a number of them with order of assembly, because here you can see, for instance, all the wires from the trimmers are at the bottom of this capacitor, so there is a precise order of assembly. Seems all the wires are installed first, by the way. Okay, I will zoom a little bit for you on this area, because really you can see we have some dust also, but quite amazing. I guess this might be a nice video thumbnail if I can try to get rid of this dust. No luck here, but at least quite amazing, really, construction. This thing. So I guess it will be all for this video. You can see our big wire harness here going to the middle of the frame. Quite a lot of dust. Obviously these units were heavily used in airliners, because the dust does not want to show and it gets out of focus, but you can see here at the bottom. I did already vacuum it and everything, but the other one, VDME, was full of dust. So they are high hours units, but we have no hours meters on them. So here you can see this lever to secure the cover in place, and it will reinsert like this. Okay, so super cool unit again, and stay tuned for possibly one more teardown of Collins equipment. So thanks for watching, bye bye.